Good morning. It is 8:13 in the morning here. I just rolled out of bed here just about 13 minutes ago. We are on March 28th, and this is day number 6 now for pedaling a cheap bicycle through Cambodia this time. Yeah, so this is really, it's day 6, but it's day 2 on the actual journey. Where I'm not going to get confused. I'm still going to call it day 6 because that's how long I've been here. Yeah, good choice yesterday of taking this back street. It was a wonderful street, although I have absolutely no signal whatsoever. I had, even in the city, I had a really bad problem with this SIM card for coverage wise. As soon as I walk into a grocery store or anywhere like that, I'd lose signal. And it was so choppy just within the city itself. It was no wonder that as soon as I step out of the city, I just lost complete signal for the whole time. And that makes it difficult for certain things like looking things up on Google. And Google Translate especially. I can't do Google Translate. Like, oh, here, let me give you a little hobo rambling here. Warning, hobo rambling. Yesterday, I stopped. There's a spot along the way to eat, just like a lady that was cooking a little bit of street food. Obviously, that was rare since I'm going through the little villages and stuff. You gotta stop at those if you can't, anytime you see them, if you want to get something to eat. And since I only had the 2 top ramens on me, I decided I'll go ahead and stop, and get whatever she's cooking up. And obviously, I'm reduced to, just because of this, pointing and saying yes or no, and just basically saying a lot of yes, because I don't really know what it is. I can't communicate. So I pointed out a few of the assorted meats that she was going to deep fry. And she pointed over at some eggs. And, in the basket, like, do I want any eggs? And I was like, yeah, hard-boiled eggs. Why not? So I grabbed one of the hard-boiled eggs, and she's like, just one? She like, one? And I was like, oh, I'll take 2 hard-boiled eggs. I like hard-boiled eggs. And so I sat down, and all the kids are around me and stuff like this, staring at me and stuff, because, they definitely probably don't have too many people like me passing through. You know what I'm saying? These are smaller, like, little villages, if you can even call it that, because, I mean, there's little farming communities out here. And that's what all the traffic is and stuff right here. This is one of the main roads. It's just mostly all tractors and stuff. And people on scooters getting back and forth to, wherever they're working. But when I cracked open the egg, it was one of those, what is it? The eggs with the embryo inside. I can't remember what it was called back in the days when I worked in the casinos in Cache Creek in California, but the foreigners would sometimes bring those in, and we'd have told them, no, you got to eat those over in the side room because sometimes they get a little smelly. But yeah, they're the type that still have like the little chicken or the duck still in them, partially formed, but not fully formed, something like that. And I grew up with an American diet, and something like that is completely foreign. I know we have hot dogs and stuff like this, and when you grow up with a food, I know that you get used to it, and it's considered delicacy, or it's considered, very good. But I was like, no, I don't eat this, right? But I didn't want to say that, like, right in front of them, right? Because the kids are staring at me, like, oh, it's good. And I didn't want to be rude. So I tried to eat a little of it, right? And I was just, it was one of those things I couldn't do it. But I was lucky. There was a dog or two at my feet, and when no one was looking, whoop, I didn't eat the second one. I left the second egg. But yeah, no, I just couldn't do that. And I don't remember what those eggs are called, like bok or something like that. Anyway, I'm sorry, forgive me for not knowing that, and I can't look it up either, no data. So yeah, so that was one of those things because yeah, you live and learn. I'm going to be more careful about ordering assuming everything's hard-boiled eggs or, you know, American style. We just don't have those type of foods. What is the plan today? It's just to go that way on the road. I looked I looked at offline maps on Google, and it says it's pretty well just a straight shot, not as much turning back and forth as I did yesterday. So hopefully not getting as lost. But like I said, Google Maps is only correct maybe 50-60% of the time about having me actually on the road, or the road actually being a real road, or the road not just being a trail. Like most times it was just a trail and it was marked down as road, and a lot of times it said I was off in the middle of nowhere when I was on the road, or when it said I was on the road, I was off in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, so it's been interesting because I'm making it up as I go along, and Google Maps is obviously guessing, so the two together makes an interesting combination. So all right, and enough of me flapping my lips. It's time to hit the road and get out there. I'm going to pack up and start pedaling. All right, guys, let's do it. Oh, nice area, though. One shade tree. All just straight, hot, and baking straight in the sun. So I'm taking a minute under this shade tree. But it's only a little past 9. It's 9:24 and it is already baking. Today's gonna be a hot one. Well, it's 11 o'clock, and I've only been at this since 9, so 10, 11, 2 hours, and the sun is unbearable, man. It's getting me to the point of actually heat stroke, heat exhaustion. Yeah, and there's not a lot of shade, even though I'm sitting in like a small patch. Most of these trees have been harvested and stuff, and they're just so small and stuff that it's kind of it's a little bit, but it's funny because it looks so green here, right? It's like looks so green, but there's very few like tall trees that are actually along the road here. It's just all bushes and trees that have been harvested for whatever they're harvesting the trees for. Um, yeah, but yeah, this sun's way too much. I'm gonna have to start hitting this earlier just for health concerns. Yeah, so this is gonna be really slow getting up. You know, any progress from here on out is gonna be very, very slow because I'm very, very close to actually, and I have a high heat tolerance. But anyway, it's just too much today. So I found a spot to get this nice little town, man. Everybody here is really friendly, and they know English really well. Yeah, that was the store I bought right there. That little store right there. I bought stocked up on water. I got 3 liter and a half of water. I bought a tea, but then I noticed they had the sugarcane juices, so grabbed one of those, and I'm hiding out under the tree here. But yeah, no, it's a very friendly town. Everybody wants to come up and say hi, so yeah, it's awesome. If I remember to get the name of the town, I'll try to remember where it's at, and as soon as I get Wi-Fi, I'll look it up, see what name it has, and I'll try and post it down here below. So anyway, I'm cooling down, about ready to hit the road again. Hey guys, found a little bit of shade. I'm utilizing the shade here. It's 121. I met up with a road again, which is not listed here. Well, it is if you go in nice and tight. I'm the blue dot. I'm heading eastbound to the 43, it runs north, and then it will link up to the 4 right there. Yeah, you see they're on the road that I'll be on here shortly. And but right now it's like I can't go too far. The heat's just ridiculously hot right now. It almost got me earlier, but luckily I had a little bit of a cool down not that long ago, but still it's like you can only do this in like 20-30 minute stretches before you have to jump in the shade again. Well, I made it to the 4. It's above me. I think that's the 4. There's 2 of them that run northeast. Found a bridge to get out of the sun. Sprinkling a little by here. I'll show you. Turn you around. Just came from that direction. So that's south right there. Anyway, it is, let's see what time it is real quick. 3:36, and I don't know how much it's gonna rain, but I'll think about that. It's been a while since I slept under a bridge. Hey, but the bridges are good spots to sleep, though. I mean, they really are. At least back in the States, they are. If you can find one that's not in a dangerous area, like in some of the smaller towns and stuff like that, you get up underneath, there's enough room, keeps you dry, you know, it's everything. It's actually, I've had some very comfortable bridges I slept under. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So I'm going to jump back in here. I'm still under the bridge, obviously. I don't think this is the 4 above me. So this is not the 4 right here. The 4 is going to be down this way more. So this is the 43 though. This is the one I came off of. If you're ever bicycling in this area, skip the 43. 43 is all just dirt, and trucks are on it and kicking up dust right in your face, and it's also sand too. So I think they probably try to bring down the dust by dumping sand, but it just makes it's like you ever try and run in water. That's what trying to bicycle through sand is. But yeah, it's dusty. You can see my legs. That's just today's dirt. Yeah. So avoid it. That's what I'm saying. Be going down, go farther down this way, and then I'll be getting on the 4. I'm going northbound. Well, it's 4 o'clock. I made it to the 4. I'm going to find something to eat. But this is the 4. I'm going to be heading down in this direction. But it looks like the best spot to actually pick up something to eat is in this little town here. We have plenty of street food and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm going to see what they have to offer. I went simple on the street food. I decided to get 2 pizzas. They're 10,000, so let's see. So they're like 10,000 each. That's like $250 each, and yeah, it'll be the first time getting and yeah, it looks actually pretty good. So. It's 4:35 right now. Sunset in my location is at 6:15. So I'm kind of in the city right now, but I just got my pizzas. This will be my first real meal of the day. I had a corn this morning, but 1 piece of corn doesn't help. Yeah, so my goal is to spend carrying my pizza and 2 Coca-Colas. So I just spend the hour and 40 minutes getting out of town to try and find a spot to camp. Yeah, because there's no affordable accommodations in this way. This is not really a touristy town, so they don't cater to tourists. So I'm just gonna, I got plenty of time, I'm gonna see if I can get out. This is the 4 I'm on, it's a busier road, and I don't know what this guy's doing. But he's driving slower than I'm riding a bicycle, man. I'm sorry, brother, you go put a little gas in it. Sorry. Sometimes you wonder about these drivers. Anyway, I'm going down this way, and eventually I'll be camping somewhere. Bye. I'm following a little side road here. I'm right off of the 4. You can see my tracks are right there. And there doesn't seem to be any tracks ahead of me. So I know it just sprinkled a little, but I don't think that was sprinkled enough to actually cover up any tracks here. Yeah. Oh, there's someone right there. Maybe I won't be going down this way. Oh well. Yeah, he's carrying some wood, so he's working on a project. I'm just going to go around and turn around and find a different spot. Yeah, there's his tracks coming from the other direction. So he must be, I'm assuming, on this property. This is, yeah, this is his property. See, I wouldn't even known that. Also, it looks like the rain's moving in, so I better find a spot pretty soon. Hello.
Where'd you go?
I just biking. I'm biking through Cambodia. I'm biking, bicycling.
You are wrong way?
Well, that was a good interaction. I stopped and I talked to him in a little bit of English. He's like, you can just, I was looking for a spot to sleep, to hang my head. And he's like, guest house? I'm like, no, just, camp. And I don't think he knew what camp meant. He goes, like, in the trees. I was like, that's it. And he goes, okay, yeah. He's like, you could camp any tree you want to. So I don't think he owns the property, but I think just that's how it is in Cambodia. You want a spot to hang a hammock, hang it. Yeah, he said anywhere out here is fine. So, cool. I'll show you what I'm working with. That's the main road over here. And all through here. And that's him down there. Hacking at some... and I still think he's the owner of that property. The little farm back there. So, that's awesome. Anyway, guys, I'm looking at these clouds here. See how dark it is? I'm pretty sure I'm going to have my my tarp up here pretty soon. So I'm going to turn this off and start hanging and all that fun stuff. All right, bye. This little irrigation pond right here came in real handy. I used that bottle right there and I washed all the dirt off me. I mean, that's mucky water, but it's not like I'm drinking it. I'm just washing myself off. And so I needed that. I was thick. Now I can actually take these clothes off and lay halfway clean. Possibly put on my clean clothes tonight. I've been storing those away. I didn't wear them yesterday. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice, peaceful, nice sleep. I got to find the trees still. Like I said, the clouds look like they're wanting to move in, but then again, it's, it looked like that yesterday, and then the stars came out. So I ended up taking down my tarp just so I could see the stars, and it was an awesome night. So, all right, peace, guys. I'm gonna find the trees and then do a little filming over there. Hell yeah, I think I just found my 2 trees right there. Bang! That's where I'm hammock camping. Not sure how good that comes out, but the sun is setting and my camp is set up. I don't have the tarp up yet, but the tarp's that bag right there hanging. If I need it, it's the smaller tarp. It only takes a minute to set up. I have 4 rocks because there's only 1 tie down on either side of the tarp and 2 rocks per tie down. If you don't know how to make like tarp tie downs with rocks or tents, kind of like instead of the tent stakes, look it up on YouTube. It's very, very handy. Other than that, I have the palm fronds down for if it does rain. My backpack will be off the ground. That way it won't get soaked from underneath. It's underneath me, so even if I use the smaller tarp, it should be just fine. Other than that, I'm trying a piece of cardboard underneath me this time to see if it stops that bottom breeze from happening. I actually picked up a sunshade that you stick in the window of your car, your vehicle. The silver one with it's almost like bubble wrap, really tough bubble wrap that's been silver coated to reflect the heat of the sun. I had one of those as a bottom mat inside my hammock in Japan, and it worked perfect. It's basically the same thing that Hennessy hammock will sell you. But the one that Hennessy hammock sells you is cut and designed for this special hammock, but it's also going to run you $100. And I got mine for from the dollar store, the 100 yen store in Japan. So that's their version of the dollar store. Anyway, guys, it's been nice. This will be video number 2 that I'm going to be late on posting. I edited last night's. I just didn't put music on it because I couldn't get on the internet. Yeah, so I'll edit this one tonight. I'm gonna eat my dinner and yeah, I'm clean. Clean enough. Got food. Got a sunset. How can you go wrong with that? Look at that. In a nice field. All right, guys. Good night, y'all. And I'll see you tomorrow. Put up my tarp anyway because it's going to rain, so I figure I'll just go ahead and show you how the rocks are used as like a stake. So here's your corner of your tarp. It's pulled out, and instead of using a stake, use 2 rocks. So the first rock, you just basically wind it around, right? You don't even have to tie it or anything. Just wind it enough times that it'll hold, and pull it tight, and then pull this one down on top of it. Now you might say, and that actually is very, very good. Very, very tight. Even in heavy winds, this is a really good one. You might say, oh, well, no, as soon as you get a good whip of gust of wind, trust me, guys, plenty of reputable survivalists have put this to the test. And if you want, just add an extra rock to it. If you want, just put it on the line in front of the other rock. That way it actually is pulling on the very first rock underneath the other 2. They've tested it in very high winds and stuff, and it's always proven itself. Actually, I've had more stakes rip out of the ground because of high winds than I've had these rocks actually move. So it's perfect because hard grounds, lack of material, like in the desert and stuff, that's a lack of material for making the stakes, and the ground's usually hard because, like, if you're in Arizona, the cliche level's only like 3 inches down. So after 3 inches, there's no going past that. It's like cement. So yeah, so I just wanted to cut that in so you don't have to go looking it up. It's interesting anyway to see the people that have actually put it to test. But now you know it's a go-to thing. Yeah, if you can't find stakes, you can usually find rocks, and where you find the rocks is usually the ground that you need to use the rocks on instead of stakes. So there you go, guys.